Hey folks, this is Scott Larsen. I'm a chiropractor at the Institute for Health and Healing, and today I'm going to be talking about part two in a series of talks I'm giving on how to reclaim some basic fundamental human movement patterns. And today specifically, we're going to be talking about the lunge. So the lunge is one of 7 movements that we do really well as humans as we grow and develop and become more balanced and coordinated, and our movements start getting honed in, and then we spend years of our life sitting in chairs and we lose these movements. Getting them back and reclaiming them can help restore a lot of health, improve our balance, improve our coordination, potentially turn these movements into exercise routines and patterns that can help sustain some musculoskeletal fitness throughout our lives. And so I really want to encourage everyone to take this seriously and pay attention to how your body moves. So what is a lunge? Basically, a lunge is a position of the human body where one leg is forward with the knee bent and the foot flat on the floor, and the other foot is behind it and also bent in some fashion. And there's a lot of variations of the lunge. So you may find that as you go and research this, you'll see a lot of different patterns, but the basic pattern is kind of in the sagittal plane, which is the kind of the forward facing plane. So both legs are involved. There's some balance issues here. And why do we want to do this? So lunges are basically an exaggerated walk, and we all know what a walk or gait is, and that's important to understand. But doing a lunge can basically take that walking motion in an exaggerated way, and we can turn it into an exercise routine. Also, it makes everyday movements important. It's a fundamental human movement. How do you know a movement is fundamental and foundational? Well, it uses basically the entire body. It uses your core, and it uses your ability to balance and be coordinated. And so that's those types of movements are foundational movements. And honestly, from a clinical perspective, I see a lot of people in the clinic, and every once in a while I'll challenge them to do a lunge, and they can't perform it for various reasons. And so we want to get that back. If you struggle with it, you can get it back. If you're able to do it and feel confident with it, you may want to do this on a regular basis to preserve it. Okay, so just to kind of belabor the point here, you can use a lunge as a movement pattern. You can use your body weight to perform an exercise, and then you can increase the stress in a variety of ways to make this an exercise that increases your strength and fitness level. Barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell, different types of weights can increase the resistance on this move to make it an exercise. You can even train this exercise in kind of a ballistic, jumping, plyometric style that's going to improve your ability to balance and be coordinated through the air. So it's great exercise. Everyone can improve their lunge no matter where you're at. So this is a good exercise for beginners. It's a good exercise for intermediate and advanced exercisers. You may be surprised if you haven't been focusing on the lunge that you have some work to do. So let's talk about the challenge, and my challenge to you to work on for a little bit. I suggest a couple weeks of focusing on this daily practice. So you're going to stand up really tall, feet about hip width apart, but I'm practical, so just stand comfortably. And then you're going to engage your core before you perform the exercise. Not as tight as you can, but you want to make sure your stomach and your abdominal region is kind of tight and engaged and ready to go. Then you're going to take a big step forward, usually with your dominant leg, but it doesn't matter because you're going to do both legs. You're going to step forward a little bit past your normal walk or your normal step. You're going to start to shift your weight forward onto that heel just like you're taking a step, and you're going to plant that front foot on the ground and make sure it's really grounded. Now this is where a little individuality will come into play. You may be really balanced and coordinated and ready to go right off the bat, but there's a likely chance that as you step forward and take a bigger step than you're used to, you might feel off balance. And so before you go into the next part of this and into the lunge, you want to make sure you're really grounded. So you don't have to have your hands on the back of your neck or your hips. You can use your arms to balance. It's totally cool. And if you're not even there, if you need a little extra support, you have a chair nearby, do it next to the kitchen counter or a table or a door frame, and use those types of things to stabilize yourself. all good. We got to start somewhere. Okay, so once you're grounded on the floor, you're going to lower your legs. Both legs are going to be moving at the same time. The leg that you step forward with, ideally, you want to lower that till basically your thigh is parallel to the floor, and then your back leg is going to bend at the knee. And depending on where you're at, that's how deep you're going to go. You may only be able to go a few inches down before you need to come back up. If you are more advanced, maybe you can go all the way down to the floor. Maybe you could even touch your knee to the floor lightly and come back up. And so that's the second part of the lunge. That's kind of the movement part. It's definitely an important piece. Again, you may need your arms for balance. You may find that your opposite hand starts to come forward to counterbalance, and that's totally fine too. The reason is because this is a simulated walk. And so when you walk, you'll notice that your arms are going to be swinging opposite of your legs. And so they might want to do that when you go into this position. All right, so you're down there, however deep you want to go. Press off. Press back with your heel, push yourself back up into that standing position, and then you completed that motion, you completed that lunge, and then you're going to repeat on the other side. And a word of caution, you may find that from left to right, you're totally off. That one of your legs is really dominant and it's really balanced and coordinated and strong, and maybe the other leg is not as balanced, and you need to pay close attention to that, and that's totally fine too. It's all good. You may have injuries, you may have past surgeries, you may have broken bones that you've healed from, all kinds of stuff, or you may just be tight on one side and you have a series of tight muscles that prevent you from having this normal movement. Just pay attention to that and know where you're at. And again, you're going to bend, step forward, big step forward, start bending down, go into that lunge position, get comfortably down, and then push yourself back up, and you completed the lunge. And that's it. I want you to do it every day. This is more of a movement than an exercise. So you don't need to do this to muscle fatigue. You don't need to perform this with heavy weights to failure. You don't need to do a number of repetitions and sets. Just go through this movement comfortably using both legs. Count out your reps. That's fine. Keep track of what you're doing, and do this every day mindfully with an intent to reclaim your human movements. It's going to build confidence. You're going to notice you get better at it. Whatever you practice like this, your brain is going to adapt super quick. It's going to give you these movement patterns back, or maybe you have to reestablish them kind of from ground zero. It's great. You're going to improve your health. And then if this is something you like, I would encourage you to continue it. Turn this into an exercise routine that you can really train. Again, if you have strong legs, strong glutes, hamstrings, quads, calves, balance, coordination, you're going to preserve your muscle mass. Maybe you'll grow new lean skeletal muscle. That's going to improve your fitness level. It's going to improve your energy metabolism. It's going to give you more energy. The more muscle you have on that body, you're going to have more energy because you have more mitochondria. There's so many benefits to doing this, but regardless of all the endless benefits of having a strong, physically fit body, the most important thing is being able to move. And that's my ultimate goal here, is I want people to have freedom of movement. Thank you for joining. I'm Scott. If you have questions, I always like to entertain any questions, so contact me through our social media or come in and see me in the clinic if you want. I can video visit with people and help you optimize some of these topics. Have a great day and take good care. Bye-bye.